Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Gmodism with your host Eric, and we're back with checking out the Constabulary of Gmodism, built for Admiral Scoobyrocks, of course, who is the commissioned officer in the Army of Gmodism. So let's dive into the continuation of the build of the biggest ship of them all, the Sheriff. And there we have it. Here we have iteration number 17. So we ended up at iteration number 15, I think, last time. And I don't know why I deleted 16. And I don't have 15 either. But whatever. This is iteration number 17, which we're going to go off and continue the little checkout of this here. So last episode we checked the progress of the sheriff deputy, the sheriff deputy, which will be assisting this behemoth. We have really shaped out some different shapes here, and at these positions, for example, the fighter jets will be installed and placed later on. We added some decorations all over the place. I don't know if you remember iteration 17, but who cares? This is what we're having right now. And this is gonna be one of our largest ship we ever made, 233 meters. That's pretty long. That's a pretty huge build. And we have spawned some different systems I will be checking out here, which is pretty cool, I think. So let me get back this menu. Here we have a magnetic splitter, so we're basically having a really big charged plasma cannon here. This charged plasma cannon is actually like a hull-mounted little dick gun. So we can like move around like this. We can like fire some type of blob of energy, which is pretty cool. Oh my god, what happened there? Anyways, here we also have a side-mounted diff gun. I think this is pretty cool diff gun. But this is definitely something we'll be adding to the ship, I believe. Here we have another diff gun. So this is a direct input fed side-mounted gun. It is mounted on a what is it called? 2-axis turret, so it can kind of move around a little bit. So we might have this as complementary diff gun. Here we have the S-Corp Civs cannon. I think we'll add this too to the design. We have the Skyfire Mark II to deal with some incoming stuff. And here we have a little side-mounted outlet for lasers. So it's not mounted on a sub-object, it's just hooked up to the laser system, the laser mains. And that's definitely something we're going to have as some kind of broadside. What I have been doing on this system is adding some pieces where we're going to have the bridge, and here we're going to have some kind of secondary bridge, probably just decorative or whatever. And this is starting to get real fast here. As you can see, when we're boosting away, this thing is pretty quick. I also especially developed a little turret, a little laser turret here, which is designed to be lightweight and streamlined to kind of get better targetings. And we even have a little cool decal design there. And this is definitely not having any type of shape or weird form that you would recognize from the natural world. Absolutely not. Anyways, I think we should check the next iteration, right? And here we have iteration number 18. So what we've done here is we have basically added the both sides here. So we basically put the armor on this side too, using some nice copying skills. And as you can see, if we go here, we're actually trying to keep an air gap between the different components here. We're actually trying very hard to do this. And why are we doing this? Well, it's not only because of heat and hash, it's because that we don't want the plasma damage to progress any further than it has to. So we're really trying to think about potential future plasma designs people have, and having this, that we don't have any connecting blocks between the first outer layer of the armor and the internal structures, also makes us pretty safe against hollow points and the likes. So that's pretty cool. And of course, our lasers are pretty EMP secured, which is a great addition and thing to have. And I really love this thing here. You can see we have small jet engines here to do steering. We removed the effects of them, but they are providing some pretty good steering capabilities here. We added some diff guns to the side here. And as we covered in the last little iteration, the laser fixed broadside cannons have been implemented into the side here. And since we have 6 of them, we don't need to protect them especially well. So I think that's a pretty neat setup. We also have the exhausts, or I mean air intakes, for the jet engines integrated under here via some air ducts. Pretty nice, I think. And I don't know exactly where we added this, but here we can see so we have some nice energy generation and propulsion here too. We also added some tail planes to be able to provide some extra control since we're going pretty fast. And just a reminder, we are building this as a token of gratitude to Admiral Scoobyrocks for supporting the channel every month, which we are eternally thankful for. And about that, we will also thank the commissioned officers from level lieutenant and above as well, which is Commodore Owen, Lieutenants Parba Greed, Cravey, Vincent Veritas, and Andor. Thanks a lot for supporting the channel. It helps a lot. In any case, or however you say if you're a native English speaker, which I am not, we're going to check out the next iteration, which is iteration number 19. And at almost 3 million, we have already surpassed the cost of the Gimle. So this is definitely starting to become a really expensive big boy. In any case, we didn't add too many interesting new things here. I don't remember exactly when I'm saving things. Oh yeah, I added some turrets which are likely to go into the back. These are actually a generator-based system. They are called generators, right? Yeah, they are. Generator-based system, so it's continuously plasma damage. And I started to outline the thruster, the back thruster of the ship to look a little bit cool and stuff like that. I do also think, oh, we didn't have this right. We kind of expanded the laser system to a pretty insane amount, because realizing we are having this many outputs made me understand that we need a lot more powerful laser system. And that charged plasma system you saw before, with mostly chamber-based system, have been added to the side here. So if you can see, wait, oh yeah, if we do like this, well, we couldn't keep track of that, but whatever, it's firing really strong plasma bursts a few times before it gets depleted and takes forever to regenerate. So I think we should probably look at next iteration, right? And I hope you understand that the jumps between the different iterations, you might think this is going real fast, but man, I spent a lot of time building in between, and a lot of things are not visible, like calibrating the darn settings, the AI, the flying skills and all of that, and of course the PIDs and whatnot. So a lot of work goes into this, and I'm hoping you are enjoying this little quick walkthrough. But if you'd rather see the full build process, just give a comment below. Actually, put me a comment below if you prefer this fast covering, or if you would like a slower piece-by-piece build. Because if that is the case, tell me, and I'm going to stream while I'm building, and you can enjoy that live and later on our Gmodist channel, which is my second channel with VODs and stuff. Iteration number 20. What has happened since last time? Well, that's something I'm questioning myself every time I spawn in a new iteration. I think we have started to outline the hull a little bit more. And I think we added some more thrusters and stuff. It feels like we might be a tiny little bit quicker. Who knows? Oh, I think I remember what this iteration is about. You can see these movements sideways when we're turning like this, that we are actually changing the direction of our thrusters using advanced control blocks, which does makes us a lot more maneuverable, which is pretty nice. By the way, we are having a speed of 111 meters per second, and that's insanely fast for a like ship of this cost and size. But anyways, you can see even in the front here we have permanently changed the direction of the thrusters just to make them not sink our speed as much. I think that's the main part of this iteration, so I believe we shall be moving on. And I'm so sorry that we couldn't have more than 4 Belenus turrets on this Sheriff. 6 of them just proved to be too much energy per second to even be able to keep them working, because plasma requires insane amounts of power. Like, actually, railguns is a little bit more worth it than plasma if you are thinking about that aspect. And here we have person number 21. What has indeed happened here? Well, you can see that the engine is really starting to look like something pretty cool. Isn't that pretty cool? I don't know, I think this is pretty cool at least. Having a nicely designed engine, that's really something to have, something to brag about. And about that, one thing we did add is this funny thing. You can see that our other thrusters are actually trying to help and control this ship, both in sideways, roll, strafe, and all of that. We really did some work on that control. But I think it's time to move over to iteration number 22 to really see this thing taking shape here. And here you can see the thrusters that are putting us up at vertical control is indeed keeping us at place, both sideways, strafe-wise, and back and forwards. If we're going forwards, they are all pointing forwards, which is making us much more faster actually. In any case, other than that, we have been adding a lot of decorations, details, making things flush, adding tiny details around the exhausts of the engine, making them look a tiny bit cooler, and fleshing out the bottom part of the hull here, making it protected but still looking pretty cool. I never remember exactly what we added on the new iteration, but I kind of feel like adding this charge plasma turret here as an auxiliary weapon is kind of new, I think. In any case, we have a little compartment here where we have the air intakes for the jet engines, and it's kind of weird, but it only requires like 8 meters or whatever for it to get full air intake bonus whatever thing. That's pretty nice. I think actually we should look at the next iteration, because I don't remember if I added anything more here. But it's starting to look darn cool, if I can say so myself. And about looking cool, we have added so much more to the general shape. The back portion of the sheriff has finally started to get some work, getting the general shapes outlined. I'm pretty happy with that rear piece of this ship. I think it looks darn cool, and between these little sections, like over the engine, I think we're going to host the observer drone, like basically right here, which is that mecha thing we designed. Also, our Alpha Striker, the Sheriff Deputy, is gonna have some wings, and I just wanted to have some wings on the side here to kind of add to a pretty cool vibe. Also, I realized that the charged plasma cannons didn't really sit well where they were sitting, so I kind of just removed them. Other than that, I have started to outline the bottom portion of this ship here. These blue things are just representing windows, and this is like the underslung bridge or the early stages of it. Just for show, basically. It's not gonna be a sittable bridge, but we're gonna have a little secondary bridge down there. And that's all for this iteration. Starting to look like a real ship. Let's move on to the next. Continuing in the same type of design, I think we added a lot to these barrels here actually. You can see they look much cooler now. We have a pretty cool shape here in the front. The wings have really been taking shape now in this iteration, which is iteration number 24. The back portion is really coming together, and I decided that the laser turret, which we have installed, will be at the bottom here. It's gonna be underslung here, which definitely will not remind us of any anatomical body parts present in different mammalian and more species. Definitely not. But it's a pretty efficient place to have it, and it gives us a good arc to shoot at incoming aircrafts and whatnot. Here we started to outline a pretty cool shape. This looks like a kind of pillar structure hidden in beneath. And here you can really see the shape where the space of the observer will be on later. These little tubes will be left open to install some anti-missile missiles. And overall, I'm just really happy with this design. Checking out here, I'm starting to work on a really cool shape and design of the air intakes of this vertical jet engines here, which I'm really happy about. This is starting to look like one of my favorite details of this ship, of the Sheriff overall. Then we have started to shape out the bridge here, and I'm thinking this is gonna be a great looking bridge when it's done. But to see more about that, we will be checking iteration number 25. And now, I really shaped out the back portion here. We're really just waiting for the observer drone. We even have some cool smoke effects, giving a nice vibe to the ship. Let's just stop the time here to check it out properly. And we can see that it's really taking shape, like the hull is definitely taking shape now. The wings are really fleshed out. I decided to go with clear window glass here, and we started to build a little bit on the bridge. We're gonna have a pretty interesting shape and design of this Sheriff, but so far I'm really happy with it, and this is still one of my favorite designs. Yeah, the Sheriff is going to be an absolutely beautiful airship. I hope it's gonna be fairly efficient too, but let's be honest, I just want this thing to look really cool and be a really efficient plasma blaster. And, you know, plasma is probably never gonna be the most efficient weapon type in From the Depth anyways. But we're trying to make it as proper as we can. Iteration number 26 brings us more fleshed out armor pieces like this. You can see we really have a flush design of many of the thrusters. And on top of that, we added inside of here a pretty nice little vertical launch missile, which is going to be like vertical launch but reverse. which is really good at hitting a lot of targets, and this is actually present on the Fred, this main missile system, while it's configured for this build, but this main missile launcher is featured on the Fred. We also built for Admiral Scoobyrocks back when our Admiral was still a captain. Yes, you can join a low rank and then promote yourself and get the benefits of the different ranks. Very nice, very smart. I'm really trying to make it worth to upgrade. Anyways, we added different details and fleshing out here, and on the front of the ship's little deck here, I decided it could be cool to have a couple of diff guns integrated into here. So here we have like the mock bridge, the secondary extra bridge, just having some diff guns that we can fire against the ship, against the enemy when we're kind of, I don't know, approaching with some squash heads. Doesn't hurt. Pretty cool. And now I just realized I forgot to remove the previous iteration, didn't I? And I did. Which makes for potential good target practice, right? Look at that. Very nice. Damn, those are pretty quick. Anyways, stop playing around, Eric. Let's move on with the next iteration. And here we have iteration number 27, which we're just building a little bit block by block like this, just to get the full experience of the size of this build, which I think is pretty cool. As we can see, we're adding layer by layer here using the spawn block by block function, and we can really see a lot of the interiors and a lot of the work that has gone into this, because I am pretty bad at making things efficiently and I spend far too long on the tiniest detail, which I think could be a good idea, just because the things I spend time on, man, it's not even smart. I can like spend time on some internal blocks exact position, sometimes on how it looks, like I kind of want it to be ish smooth if possible, but a lot of the time I'm just thinking, if this get damaged, how would these blocks keep formed together, and how could I just by placing this block in a slightly better way make it a little bit more structurally integrate? I know, it's kind of stupid, but that's kind of how I do this. I don't know. And one thing I don't really remember is that, did I move this over to a sub-object, or is that in a future iteration? But in case I forget that into the future, these APS turrets, I think I will be moving them over to a sub-object to just give them some better aiming angles. Other than that, you can see that the front here is just filled with alloy and wood to give us a health sponge. These have their internal armor. The turret is well armored from all the sides except the backward side, because that shouldn't really matter too much. We have some beautiful wings here. We have a lot of steam turbines. And this, my ladies and gentlemen, is where we ended up placing the charge plasma systems. And I do want to say this. Do remember to like this video and definitely subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Liking the video and stuff like that will help this video find more viewers, and will help us in the long run to be able to make better videos for you, because I do think I will be a better host and YouTuber as soon as I will be able would be able to do this full time, which is something I hope I'll be able to do if it's able to be done in a good way. I don't know, From the Depth is kind of a small game, so I kind of understand that I need to play many games for that to be possible. If you want to see me play many games that you are not seeing on Gmodism very much, do join our Twitch channel. Gmodism is my username on Twitch. You can just join us there too for some live stuff. Anyways, this is really taking shape, and you can see all the hard work going into this a little bit, I hope, with just me adding that block by block. And we kind of have an interior here now. It's not completely done, but you definitely see we borrowed some beautiful prefabs here from setup, which was present on the Stridsjacht. Oh, by the way, about the Stridsjacht, have you seen the mouse mat with the Stridsjacht render on the Spring store? We got some help by a Kevin to take Setup's design and put it on a mouse mat. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get that one yet because I have a regular blueprint one, and nobody has bought it from the store, but it's available there if you want the From the Depth blueprint printout of a ship. Maybe you didn't even see the Slabman challenge, but yeah, I do think that perhaps while it's looking really cool, I'm just sorry that Kevin had to put in that work to make that really cool design, since it, you know, nobody got it yet. I guess I'm just suck at selling merch. And anyways, spawning things block by block, we don't get a turret, so I just need to respawn it. Okay, here we have it. Now you can see the charged plasma systems are loaded up here. Each of them are having 74 charges, and they are firing all the charges in one blast, so it's like a one-shot hit thing. We added these turrets sideways mounted down here to provide some extra plasma damage ongoing there. I think it was pretty cool. Other than that, we just worked a little bit on the general shape and the function of this thing, while you might not be seeing too much of it because, well, but anyways, some more decorations around the thrusters are here if we forgot to show that later, and we added just some tiny but important details on the lower bridge here too. I do think this is gonna be a really cool Airbattleship. I think it's gonna be pretty expensive, like it's already 3.4 million, so it's probably gonna be a super battleship thing, but man, this is a pretty cool ship. Maybe we should spawn a Megalodon just to bully it a little bit, even though we're not calibrated or set up in any proper way. You can see them popping out of there. Pretty cool. Let's see if we can see the ship here. Oh no, we're targeting decoys, aren't we? Our lambs are trying to take out stuff too. Ha! And here we have the sideways lasers. We're so not set up. Laser turret going on there. Yeah, we haven't calibrated anything, so I think most of our damage is pretty wasted. But those Belanus turrets, those are real scary, man. They are not to play around with. Bam. And since the Megalodon is a pretty compact ship, I bet these plasma charges are just doing hilarious amounts of damage to it. We've got a constant stream of incoming plasma too. Let's see there. just shedding so many blocks. Very interesting indeed. Now we got those missiles incoming, but the saves of the Megalodon is pretty good, so it's actually taking out many of our missiles. About our missiles, have we added these yet? No, we haven't added the front missiles yet. It's only these just dropping down there and providing some damage. It's pretty cool that our lasers are able to start fires now, which is not really applicable to the Megalodon, of course, but I think it's pretty cool nonetheless. Indeed. While that battle is taking place a little bit, we are going to check out and battle test it a lot more in future videos, because this is a little series where we are constructing the constabulary of Army of Gmodism for Admiral Scoobyrocks, of course. So hope you enjoyed this little video, and do hope that our Admiral enjoys it as well. I will be seeing you next time. This is your host Eric, and I'm signing out. Indeed.